Good morning, you beautiful people. Thanks for last episode. It's actually uploading at the moment, so thanks in advance for liking and subscribing to the channel. We are now heading off at the start of this new instalment. I am going to B&Q. Lockdown in the UK has just lifted, and I am going to, well, partially lifted, you know, shit's opening up again, pubs are open, but that's not where we're going. We're going to go get some hinges for our cupboard doors. I want to see if I can get the cupboard doors knocked out the way today and done, so that I can possibly start building a sink and start doing some of that exciting stuff, because I want to get that done as soon as possible. There's lots to do. I'm very excited. So let's go.
Cutting the power lines, we're done talking about it. A spark turns into fire, and we're not sorry about it. If you're not sleeping tight, you know we're onto something. You hear the streets.
You know that moment where you're not really sure what you want, and then you're offered all of the choice in the world? It all hinges on this. I'm just kidding. This. I make myself laugh, and that's what matters. So I'm thinking these are cool. I've got some brass fittings already, so the temptation to go brass is definitely there. But I like this kind of rusticy, tarnished brass look. So yeah, might need to get some more of these. Got it all, like 30 quid for some hinges and some handles. It's madness, I tell you, madness. Wait, have I got everything? I did have everything. I'm just being a dumbass. Homeward bound, and we need to start building some cupboard doors. I don't know what they're going to look like yet. Yeah, so we made some decisions to go with the vertical, lifting doors, as opposed to the sideways coming outy doors. At least I'm going to attempt it. I've got an idea for how I'm going to get them to stay up with little magnets in the roof. I'm just hoping the magnets are going to be strong enough. Because if they're not, then the door's not going to stay open. But we'll find out. So here's what we have. Bit of sanding, bit of polishing, and then on the back we've kind of stabilised it with those two bits of wood and a couple of simple hinges. I'm not going to overcomplicate things, because as with everything in this van, I don't know what I'm doing. So we are going to see if we can screw it into the supports up there, pop a handle in, and see where we're at. Let's take a look. To that. You know, I don't think it's too bad. It kind of hits on the light a little bit, which is annoying. Not entirely sure what I can do about that. The reason these are positioned as they are, same with all of these struts, is it kind of coincides with where the battens are across the roof. So I can't drill into it and recess this as I would like to. Not really, although I might try it. That could be a solution. But for now, you know, it doesn't need to open much further than that anyway. So that's a problem for the future. We've got a couple of magnets to kind of hold it closed. A handle on, and other than that, I quite like the two-toneness of it, if you know what I mean. Let me see if I can just tweak some adjustments. Yeah. I quite like the two-toneness of the wood on the wood. I think it's going to go quite nice. Happy days. What I really want to do is I wish I could just get rid of this white. At some point I'm going to have to rip that wall off and just put wood in. Why paint it white? Why did I do that? That looks rubbish. Anyway, yeah, I've got, that's one. I've just got 2 and 3 to do. And then we can actually get on with what this episode's about. Progress is progress. The sun is shining. It's lovely weather outside. I'm getting psyched. Yeah, let's get the other ones done. Whoa, let there be progress. I nearly swore there for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why, but here we have it. Look, check this out. So, uno, which I showed you last time. We've also done dos and tres, which I think is quite cool. So they've all got these little magnets, like that, hold them shut. Quite like it, jobs are good. Now, a couple of problems. First of all, I intended these black handles to kind of match up in the ceiling with some magnets that I was going to drill in there, and then when I opened them, they were going to magnet themselves open. Wonderful. However, the magnets are not strong enough to hold the doors because it turns out these are actually quite heavy. They're quite, like, there's quite a lot of wood there. Lol. So the magnets ain't going to cut it, and I now need to work out another way of keeping these drawers open, because at the moment, what I'm doing is this. I use my head as a prop, and then do that. So not exactly what you'd call dignified, particularly this one, because it's got a little knot in the wood, and that fucks with my hair all the time. That gently coops in and then scoops it out of any bands I put it in. It's a weird problem, but it happens more often than you'd think. So, yeah. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about them for now, but I like the style. I like the kind of two-toneness effect of the wood. And the best thing about it is that I can now stop going on about these cupboards and start wanging on about this sink. Getting that sinking feeling that it needs to raise up a bit. So, that's what we're going to do. Basically, I'm going to build in some supports. It's going to go on a level with this bit of wood underneath. That bit of wood is going to be the new flatness to come out from there. That way, if I get the chance to countertop over the top of it, I will. And this sink is going to go in level with that. And so any countertop I put on will create this nice lip into the sinky area. So I need to do a lot of measuring and then build some struts to support it underneath. Which is going to be quite cool. I'm going to get that done, and then because I'm going to have to take all of these paneling woods off. I've already started on the ones at the back. Take all of them off and put new ones on to go the whole length of it. And then we need to put a couple of cupboard doors in, because there's going to be like a shelf here and then another shelf and lots of that goodness. The pumps have arrived, so I've got an actual proper set of pumps and taps and things. So yeah, let's break it down for you. Let's just take a moment and talk about the sinking situation, or the taps rather. So at the moment I've got this deal. It's a little tap, goes to a little pump, and whenever there's like a switch in here, so whenever you turn it on, it turns the pump on. Don't mind the sink I've just washed up. The new system, that's good. It's kind of temporary. It's all right, but I can't use my filtration tap system with that because there's not enough pressure on that little pump. That's where these things come in. Can you even see that? You can. Yeah. That's where these things come in. These things have like a constant pressure, and it's got like an expansion tank that whenever the pressure, when you turn the tap on, the pressure in the expansion tank drops and it turns the pump on. I think. Not 100% sure how to wire these in, but we're going to go for it anyway. And it will allow for some underslung tanks and underslung goodness in the future. For now, we're going to keep the same sort of system set up for water tanks and stuff that we've got. It's a bit complicated, actually, but I'm going to gut all this because it's got some electrics, it's got some spare batteries and things like that. Yeah, so I'm going to gut all of that out and then start building the cupboard. It's exciting. Can't wait for this new sink to go in so we can completely get rid of this whole station and I'll have a lot more room. Feeling good. The sun is shining and, oh, it's reflecting in my mood. Hope you're doing well at home, guys. Yep, let's go on with it. Right, it's a new day and good afternoon. I've shaved my hair just because I like it. So let me know what you think. With the shaved versus the short. Anyway, this is how I'm feeling this morning. We woke up late as per usual, and we've gotten on with the ripping out of the old bench seat. And now I've made a mess of the van, and this is what we have to show for it. So, the sink, the old slats of wood, and the frame for the old bench seat. And you can see all my diesel heater and all of this are under there. So the decisions we have to make now is how we are going to support this sink. It's quite a large and very kind of solid thing. And the back has this weird lump on it that you can see there. It's not quite flat. It sort of comes out and goes in. That's the bottom of it.
So what that means for this is that I can't just have a flat bar go across, because that lump in the bottom of it will make the thing wobble. So I actually need to have two supports at the back for it and then one at the front. Now, I no longer need this seat level support. So what I'm thinking to do is to kind of disassemble this a bit further, take this out and raise it up. I've marked on the wood the correct height that it needs to be. And then at the back, because there's less of these things for it to be supported to, I'm going to have to measure out and build out two L-shaped kind of support systems, and I'm going to have to put legs on them to drill them to the floor, to sort of support it to the floor, so that when the weight comes on, it's not just being held on by the wall panel, but it's also got some support from the floor. And I'm probably going to put in some vertical slots here as well. That is the loose plan. Because I want this thing to be nice and solid and to not have to, I don't want to go over a bump one day and hear a crack as the sink kind of like jolts on it, particularly if it's full of water. Not when I'm running over bumps, but if it's ever full of water, I don't want it to crack the wood. So we're using this extremely sturdy wood, and we're going to be as smart and supportive as we can. Once the sink's in place, then I can start building a frame kind of around it, because it's not just going to sit there. Obviously, I'm also going to have to build frames to come out and over and kind of, do you know what I mean, and work their way across. And then we're going to put slats on top of that, and then sinks on top of that, and it's all going to be going ahead from there. So there's a lot to do. There is a lot to do. Like, it's not going to be a simple thing, and that's before I even think to start working out how to plug this pump in. But let's cross that bridge when we come to it. First of all, I need to get this wood in. So yeah. It's kind of awkward in here. I filmed a bit of me ripping this off, and the trousers I'm wearing give me like the like ride low, if you know what I mean. So I'm not going to film that, because basically you'll just be staring at the little crack of my arse, which is not exactly what I want for this vlog. So sorry, but not sorry. Job is a good one. We worked on this for a little while. Moved across from different ways of propping it up and shoring it and making sure it's got the support in, and I think the end result looks pretty good. It's got all the support in it needs, and yeah, fits well. So there we have it. We've managed to get some progress done. Now the main problem I had with this was when we were putting all this together and did it all, I went through the process of buying some pipe for the water. Obviously needed to take the water from the water tanks to the pump, and from the pump to the taps, and so on and so forth. The problem that we ran into is that the sizings for pipes are weird, and when you get 12mm pipe, in fact, this is something you can learn by. If you ever looking to do your own kind of outfit for this, you're going to have to excuse the interruption here for just a second, because I start to wang on about the differences between piping, fittings, and problems I'm having, and I'm wrong. It took me quite a long time to figure this out, but I got confused between the difference between solid pipe, or like plastic piping, and rubber pipe, and the fitting sizes that are needed, 12mm versus 12mm and things like this, and how to internal, external measurements. It was a whole mess. It cost me a lot of time, it cost me a lot of money, as you're about to see. None of my original fittings fit, which has delayed the whole thing by a week, and I nearly just edited the video and sent it out halfway done, but I guess old habits die hard, and I'd like to at least see some progress on this project before you guys see it. So that's what we're going to do today. I've got the day off. It's taken its sweet time coming, but what we are going to do, you and I, is we are going to wire in these heavy and complicated pumps, this weirdly light expansion tank, which I'm not sure exactly how that works. I'm going to drill holes for taps. We're going to try and get this thing working. There's one sort of hiccup that I haven't planned for, but I'll deal with that as and when it comes, and that is the drainage situation, like the wastewater bit. That's the situation we'll cross when we come to it. I just want to get the pumps in and get it all copacetic and working, if you know what I mean. So without further ado, let me try and set up the camera and see if we can shed some light on the situation and get the things installed, shall we?
Take it to the streets, hit control of the wheel. Take it to the streets, hit control of the wheel. Warning's been spread wide, you can't do none to stop it. Posing is bona fides, we are only causing riots. Words move from mouth to mouth. Justice is also troubling, all the way from north to south. It's been a long time coming.
So, progress. Good progress as well. So, what I've been doing, I've put in the old bottles that we used to use. I'm just using the old bottle that I used to use for the wastewater as well, although there will be a better tank going in under there. And up here, if I can... And up here, we've finally wired in the tap. We've wired in the plug. We've got a pipe that comes from one of these things, goes into a filter, the pump, the expansion tank, and then it comes up through here into the pipes. And now for the first time, I'm going to try and turn this on. I'm not going to lie, I have no idea how this is going to go. If this does not work, I have pretty thoroughly buggered my old water system to do this. If this works, I've got a new fancy sink and we can progress with plans on the van and all this, that and the other. So I don't know. I've wired up to one of the old switching panels here. Well, there's pumping noise. Pumping noise. We already have a water leak. So that's not good. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Okay, so the leak's calmed down. I think I need to sort that little joint out. Does this work? We have water! So, it turns out that my pipe wasn't fully submerged. But that, my friends, is water for sure. Adjust the flow. I can adjust the flow. Sweet! That's amazing. Right. Okay, well, that was an experience. But success! Kinda. Success enough for anyway. So what we found out today, when you're doing up hose clips, make sure you really do them up, because that was the problem. It was leaking everywhere. Also, apparently the plastic joints that go onto the various pump kind of things, the plastic bits that go between the hose pipes, are notoriously rubbish. So apparently you can get some metal ones that take their place. So I'm going to look at investing into those to help really secure this, because they're still very slow dripping. But all in all, it's a success. We now have a working water system in. I'm going to keep it turned off for now while I work out these final kinks and I get the metal things. But the important thing is, running water is now a thing. And we can go ahead and put the cladding in and make sure the wiring is all neat, nice and neat, up out the way of the water. I want to make sure there is no chance of water dripping on it. So now that I know it works, I can pin it up to the back wall. So I'm going to spend the evening doing that and figuring out what we're going to do for next week's episode, because that's where I'm going to cut it for.
Hold on. So, that's boring, man. I mean, I was laying in bed last night and I sat there and thought, filming's done, I can finally get to editing. And I was running through boring editing stuff, like what I'm going to do, like what the plan is. And I thought, I just put a sink in. Boring as crap. We didn't even take it off the wall. So I am going to go get some more stuff. I'm going to quickly take apart this sink, and I'm going to basically make another attempt at doing better videos for you guys. This is going to be my ongoing push, because I am so pumped to get out there and start exploring Wales, the Lake District, Scotland, Newquay. I want to go to London to surf. I want to get a dog. There's all sorts of things I want to do this year. I want to bring you guys along, and I want to do better and better videos as I go. So, first part of the video is done. We can take that off the list. Now we're going to pump through, clean this place up. I'm going to see if I can do some cool stuff. Okay. The old in with the new. It's weird to be standing there, and I have so much more space there. Now I've got to fill it with something. So what we're going to do, I'll tell you. So at the moment, excuse the mess under there, but at the moment we now have one very thin kind of bench-like seat with which just to sit in the evenings when I come in from work and stuff like that. That's not going to do anymore. That's going to come out. And what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to build a much wider, probably much longer. It's going to come out into this area, like kind of a big sofa-y type area, or something along those lines. I'm basically just going to extend the seating out quite massively. That's going to allow a couple of things. First of all, more comfortable sitting when I'm here on my own. Secondly, this thing. Just knock something off. I want to put a swivel base on this thing. I think it'd be kind of cool when I do have friends over to be able to turn that seat around, and then they can sit here, I can sit there, and we can natter and have a cup of tea and laugh about the good old days of living in houses. So all that's left for me to do now on this job is figure out how and why I want to put a cupboard front on top of that thing, so it all kind of looks nice from the outside. Probably going to panel it up, think about running a panel down along the bottom, all sorts of cool reasons and things like that. But by and large, that really is going to be it for this episode. Again, trying to keep these coming out fairly regularly, but this is what I'm up to, just dicking around, working on the van interior, and basically procrastinating. I've basically got one big job left on the engine, and I don't want to do it. It's going to be a lot of hassle. But hassle or no, it's what's standing in the way of getting me on the road. And I really want that. So, going to get that done probably in the next week or so. Once that's done, get the things coming up for its MOT. So, that's going to be after that. And then we can look at getting back on the road and having some more adventures and some more shenanigans and some more fun.
Until next time, though, thank you for watching all the way to the end. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate all the messages and things like that. You guys give me all the support, all the love. So thanks, keep that stuff up, and I'll see you guys in a week or so for the next video. Bye.